Hello, the one and only Xylophoney here with another ARK Dossier. Today we're going to be looking at the Dimetrodon Dossier, which was definitely a dinosaur I've been fond of for a long time. I was very fond of it as a child. I think one of my first dinosaur toys was one of these guys, and I ended up getting a lot of dinosaur toys, if you can imagine, with my dinosaur nerdism. But it's, it's a pretty cool dinosaur. You can see it's got all the claws and fins and reptilian features, and fun fact, it's not actually a dinosaur. It's actually just a large reptile, so it's a really cool one. It's a carnivore, but it doesn't go hunting stuff down. It kind of just like eats smaller things and slower things. So I think it's really interesting. The fun fact about it is I always thought it was in the early Triassic period, but it actually was alive before that, before the dinosaur period at all, in the early Permian period. So this may not mean much to you, but when you think about it in perspective, all the main dinosaurs you think of are from the Jurassic and Cretaceous period, mostly the Cretaceous period, and those are all after the Triassic and Permian periods. So this was, around before any of them showed up. And, just doing its thing, chilling, laying in the sun with its big old fin keeping it in the shade, having a good old time. But let's get into the dossier and see what it has to say about it. In the wild, Dimetrodon Dossier is a much calmer predator than most on the island. Because it lives off smaller prey than humans, it generally ignores anything bigger than a coelacanth. Dimetrodon is one of the few carnivores on the island that could be classified as reasonably friendly in the wild. So, I don't think this one's going to attack you. I think you're going to be fine when it comes to this guy. It doesn't look like, you'll be able to do a lot with him, but I'm sure you could probably tame him. Have a nice little interesting setup with him. But here on the other page it says the sail on the Dimetrodon's back is a fascinating thing. It can be angled to provide shade from the sun and allows Dimetrodon to disperse heat more quickly. That's what that fin was all about. It's for heat regulation, the same reason the Spinosaurus has it. I'm not entirely sure, but I do think that the Spinosaur may actually be evolved from the Dimetrodon over time. It would make sense. They both, have a massive fin on their back that regulates temperature, so it does make a lot of sense. But as you can see in the pictures here, the Dimetrodon is not massive. It's fairly big. It's a very big lizard, but it's not like dinosaur size. So here it says the inner workings of the sail can also restrict blood flow in the creature and hold excessive heat. Together these two traits allow Dimetrodon to comfortably survive in any climate, though they're most commonly found in the swamplands, which are rich in prey. So yeah, once again they eat the smaller things. I'm sure in the swamplands they go for a lot of the fish. Definitely have a bit of an advantage there. That's probably where we're going to be finding them in the game. But obviously they can survive anywhere because of that sail on their back. Keeps them hot when they need it, keeps them cold when they need it. So on the last part of this dossier here it says domesticated. If the Dimetrodon was a bit larger or it didn't have the massive sail, it would make a decent mount. However, its main use to survivors is to utilize the sail's insulating capabilities. Just being near a Dimetrodon gives excellent protection from the heat and the cold, which saved my life through more than one ice blizzard in the frozen Northlands. So from what it's saying here, it looks like you can just stand next to a Dimetrodon and don't have to worry about heat or cold, so you won't have to lose your water or food massively quickly if you do have a Dimetrodon next to you. That sounds like a very useful thing. Now, depending on how fast these guys move, it might not be the best to travel around with one, but I definitely see myself keeping a Dimetrodon or two at the camp or nearby the camp, just in case, you want to get out of that cold. I don't exactly get how, just standing near it is going to help you that much, but, it is a game, and it does add that feature kind of, to make things a little more interesting about this guy. He's not a big hunter. He's not something that's going to, tear everything apart, spread fear, but, what he does have is that big fin, and they definitely make good use of it for the, purposes which it does. Anyway, I think that's everything I have to say about the Dimetrodon. If you have liked this dossier, definitely leave a like on the video and comment down below, maybe with a little bit of hashtag ARK. And we'll be doing more dossiers soon. I think I got another one coming up tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Check out the old ones, and I guess I will see you next time.